Update: my ex tried to cut my implant out while I was asleep. My previous post was removed, but I'm still unclear as to why. Essentially, my now ex-fiancé did a complete 180 personality-wise. Was so sweet and loving to both me and my son, until we fought about having another baby last night. He said horrible things and I was tired of fighting, so I took my trazodone and went to bed. Woke up to him touching my arm implant birth control with a box cutter in his hand. Said he was doing me a favor, but I screamed at him to leave. I ended up leaving last night with my son to stay at my mom's. I was confused, shocked, hurt, scared. I still am. At 7 this morning, my phone started buzzing like crazy, texts, calls, voicemails. All were from him, asking me where I went and when I was coming home. I didn't respond. I just don't even want to look at him or talk to him again. He called my mom while we were both sitting in the kitchen discussing everything. She asked me if I wanted her to answer it. I said I just didn't want to talk to him. My mom ended up answering and my ex was yelling, sounding panicky. He said I left with my son last night out of the blue and he's worried, no mention of our fight. He asked when my mom last heard from me and she lied and said last night. He made a noise over the phone, like an angry sigh, and said he was going to keep searching for me, that he's worried something bad has or will happen to me and my son. When my mom hung up, she pulled me into a hug. I guess I had started crying and didn't realize it. She was still hugging me when she asked how I wanted to proceed, if I was done with him for good. I said I was and she nodded and told me first thing was to go to the police like a lot of you said. I didn't have any proof about the box cutter situation, it would come down to my word versus his. If he had even nicked me a little, I'd have a case against him, but since he technically didn't hurt me, the detective said he's seen cases similar to mine thrown out. The officer did bring up ex partes and suggested I get one for both me and my son immediately. I went to the courthouse to get the paperwork filled out. I had to detail as much as I could remember from last night, every word and action. My mom helped me and we got them turned in and moved on to the next step, calling my landlord. I've been living in the same house for 2 years, the first year was a lease and now I pay month to month. Everything is in my name and most of the furniture is mine. I told my landlord what was briefly going on and that I was putting in my 30-day notice. My mom has a guest room that she's insisting I stay in. After getting off the phone with him, I called the utilities and closed my accounts: water, electric, gas, internet. Next, my mother asked me what I wanted to do about my belongings. I told her I don't want to leave anything that's mine, all important papers, knickknacks, clothes, furniture, all of it. I just didn't know where to put it, so my mom suggested a storage unit. Once that was decided, we had to figure out when to start the move. Mom ended up calling my 2 brothers and they both agreed to help me move, just give them a date and time. I told them definitely sometime this week and my eldest brother suggested a police presence, just in case. Think it's called a civil standby? IDK, but I agreed. By this point, it's getting late in the day and I'm as drained as I can get. I just wanted to go curl up with my son and try to sort my thoughts out and calm down. The county clerk ended up calling me, telling me the judge granted my ex partes. She told me that I needed to come pick up paperwork, which had the court date on it. She also mentioned ex-fiancé would soon be served and told me I don't have to see him again until we go to court, to make the ex partes into permanent restraining orders. She suggested lawyering up, but I'm officially burnt out on today. I'll look into lawyers tomorrow, but tonight, after this update, it's a cuddle in bed with my son night. A couple things that I've seen repeated: why didn't I leave right when ex started saying those awful things about my son? I honestly thought he didn't mean them. He's told my son he loves him before. Part of it was also shock, I guess. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and that I was hearing it from someone who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I didn't think he truly had hatred in his heart and it never crossed my mind that he would hurt me or my son. He's never even spanked my son. I just thought we needed a cooling off period, so I removed myself from the situation to take my meds and sleep, naively thinking things would be better in the morning. People also questioned why I would even bother sticking around to try to talk things out, and that's a valid question that I don't have a rational answer to. Part of me thought I was dreaming, I think, and the other part is the side of me that thinks everything equates to being my fault, like I was too mean during the fight, too stubborn to see things his way and try to understand his feelings. IDK. It's late. Everything feels surreal and I have this pit in my stomach that feels like dread. What if X shows up at my mom's house? I still haven't returned his messages or phone calls and now he legally can't contact me anyways. I've had 2 of my best friends call, saying X called them. My younger brother, who I guess has always hated X but I didn't know that until today, said even he got a call. So far everyone is saying they don't know anything, but I'm scared. IDK. I'm sorry. Just thought I'd update. Wow, your family is stellar, and you made quick, decisive and correct action when it really came down to it. You and your kid are gonna be fine. No matter what happens, please look after yourself and your son. You'll get through this. Well done, Op. You've handled this all so well and it will be over soon. I think it is probably a good idea to have the police presence when your brothers move you out, that way he won't be able to try anything or manipulate you. You're taking control and it's wonderful to hear. Say you went out of state to cool off. Give him the fake location. He will follow you there and you have the whole day to move out your stuff. You may be able to get a pro bono lawyer. I got a protective order against my ex and the organization that I had been using for domestic violence counseling provided one for me. Anyway, I'm sorry for what you're going through. I'm glad that you and your son are both safe. Be aware. Contact through third parties with the intent of them contacting you violates the ex partes in most places and it 100% violates the injunction everywhere. Third-party contact once he's been served needs to be documented and submitted to the court and handed to the police. I used to work as a victim advocate and I saw this a lot in DV situations where the abuser went to jail for violating the injunction through third-party contact once they had been served. Well done for starting proceedings to cut him out of your life. When you are with someone, it can be very hard to see a person's true colors, but you are now starting to see who he really is, and down the line, once this is all over, you will really see the situation clearer and you will realize leaving him was the best thing for you and your son. You are very brave. Look after yourself and your son. It is lovely that you have lots of family around you, supporting you. Also, do not blame yourself for anything, you did absolutely nothing wrong at all. All the best, X. Thank you for the update. I'm glad you and your son are safe. You did good. When I read your original, my gosh, I was worried for you. You have done the right thing. Abusers work like this, gain your trust then turn everything upside down on you. You have gotten your lil boy to safety. I was so worried. We have seen cases in my country where a child is killed for resembling their other parent. It's just terrible. Stay strong, X. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved 2 lives by leaving. You are a great mama, and you have a great mama. As a survivor of intimate partner violence, I'm so darn proud of you. Blessings on you and your family, X. So glad, X. If you are wondering why your original post got removed, it is probably because 1. Your account name doesn't start with _RA, see Rule 4. 2. You didn't include a TLR. See Rule 3. And this post will probably get removed for the same reason, as well as because of Rule 2, updates can't be posted within 2 days of the original post. Sorry, not trying to be a negative Nancy. Just trying to be informative. What a wild ride you're going through. Please be safe. I'm so glad you're now out of that environment. We don't see the abuse clearly until we leave and the fog lifts. None of this was your fault. You weren't to know he was dead serious when he said things about your son. A new life awaits you and your little man. Make sure you also talk to a professional to help unpack some of the load. You'll need it, especially when you're ready to date again. Being with an abuser really fucks your headspace and confidence in a relationship, speaking for myself, but I'm sure some others can relate. Your mom is amazing. And so are you. Stay as safe as you can. Do not answer doors just in case he completely loses it and becomes dangerous. Good luck and all the best with the future. Be sure to update us a few months down the track. Throwaways that are sensationalistic getting removed. Wonder why? I've thought about you several times since I first read your original post and the update you made there. So relieved to hear you got out and that you have a strong supportive family around you. If he visits your mother's house in person, call the police. If he calls again, have your mom continue to play ignorant. Make sure your friends understand the severity of the situation and don't give him hints because they feel sorry for him. Abusers can act very pitiful and desperate, talking about their deep love for and dedication to you, etc., which often works on people close to you. You did the best thing for yourself and your son. The fact that he still seems to be confused as to why this happened, at least outwardly, is even more reason not to communicate with him whatsoever. Thank fucking God, I was worried. Stay safe, op. You are so brave. Hang in there. Fake post. You're so strong, I'm glad you're doing what's best for your son. Heart. It's so easy for people on the outside to say, why didn't you do this? Or, you should have done that. But the fact is, when we're in the middle of something, we are under a lot of stress, and stress reduces our ability to think. All this is to say you did the best you could in a situation you were completely unprepared for. You don't need to answer to people who are sitting in the comfort of their homes, tapping away on a keyboard. I hope you get some rest, and I'm glad you have the support of your family to help you through the next few months. Thank you for updating. Keep an eye on your surroundings at all times. Is it actually possible to cut out the implant? I don't have the implant, so I wouldn't know, but he is one messed up dude. Jesus, this sub is gullible. You're doing a great job keeping yourself and your son safe. It sounds like you have an amazing support system. Keep going, you strong, wonderful person. I'm so glad you have left and are safe. X. Your mom sounds awesome. I see too many Reddit posts with a lot of dysfunctional family members. It's so nice to hear you have people in your corner. I hope everything works out for you. Please be safe and honestly keep some kind of protection on yourself at all times. This guy definitely sounds dangerous, and I don't know how many times I've heard stories like this word ends up deadly. Stay safe. Good luck. That's really good for you, well done. I'm glad you've got such a great safety net. Your fam sounds amazing. You're doing the right thing. Glad you got out, good luck. 4-leaf clover. Get in contact with police, explain your situation and tell them that you are not missing and don't want them to tell him that they know where you are or could be. Just so that his calls to the police get ignored. You have been doing everything right to keep yourself and your son safe through the leaving process. You are doing the right thing. Your mom sounds like an incredibly staunch advocate for you. I am so glad you have her. Your brothers sound amazing too. Please do ask for a police escort for them. During the process of leaving is when an abuser can be at their most dangerous. The police can help you with protection for your brothers. Finally, please be very careful not to let on any information about where you are. Since it sounds like you do not need to correspond about co-parenting, no contact may be the best option. Hugs. You will get through this. I don't know you, but I'm very proud of you. You did the right thing and relied on your amazing family. You got this. As soon as you're able to, try to seek out therapy. This sounds traumatic as fuck and you may need extra support processing it. Less than 3. This may not be what you want to do, but tell everyone, friends, family, work, etc. what happened and advise them to call the cops if he shows up or contacts them. Let them know that under no circumstances do you want anything to do with him. Remind them that if he's a danger to you, then he is a definite danger to your son. Proud of you. Please get a security system installed at your mom's house. Cameras, the whole 9 yards. You did great, op. I'm really, genuinely proud of you for getting out and getting yourself and your son to safety. Don't hesitate to lean on your family during this time. It sounds like they love you and care for you very much. Good luck. You handled this so well and you are truly blessed to have such a supportive family. I wish you nothing but the best. Hang in there. Police tell you cases like this get thrown out because they empathize with the male abuser. If you want to pursue charges, do not let that dissuade you. It's probably mentioned here, but in case it's not, please read The Gift of Fear ASAP. He details exactly how to deal with someone like this when your life is in danger. Best of luck to you. All I can say is you are doing good right now. You've made the right decisions. Stay safe. We will be here to talk when you need us. Honey, I've been in your shoes. I'm glad you got you and your son out safely. I'm glad your family and the courts took you seriously. It gets better. I still have panic attacks and nightmares 2 years later, but they are lessening in frequency and intensity. Contact your local domestic violence agency. They may be able to set you up with free counseling and other resources. Sending you well wishes from one survivor to another. I'm so proud of you for sticking up for yourself and your son, and doing what you can to make sure you both are safe. It sounds like you have an incredibly supportive family. Lean on them as much as you can during this time. You're going through some radical changes and life probably feels very upside down right now, but this is a path to a better life. You've got this mama, keep going strong flexed biceps medium light skin tone. One piece of advice, get your stuff ASAP. Before he's served. You don't know what he will destroy. If you look back, did the personality shift begin to happen before last night? Subtle things maybe. There is a slim chance he might have a brain tumor or something. I had an ex-partner try to kill me in my sleep one time, and looking back I could see their behavior subtly changed over a few months. Turned out she had a brain tumor. What the fuck? What a psycho he is. Good thing you got away from him as fast as you did. You got this. Big hugs. I dated a super abusive guy. He was a textbook narcissist. It started out fine. He was super sweet, very helpful and super generous. Then he just flipped. It's crazy how people can just snap. And then make you out to be the crazy one. We had many physical fights. I'm happy you got out when you did. Court is going to be exhausting and annoying, but keep going. Do not, and I repeat, do not drop the charges. Sis, I have been so worried for you. You are definitely doing the right thing. I am glad that you have your family's support. You will need it. Be ready for this psycho to try to gaslight you and pull you back in. When that doesn't work, he's going to try to make you seem like the crazy one. Don't let that work either. Keep you and your baby safe. Go full ghost. Full ghost. The next while will be scary because he is scary. Alarm systems, self-defense, the whole 9 yards. Be ready. Update us often. You've got this. What the fuck? I'm happy you are safe. Hope you and your son can quickly out this behind you. Girl, you don't have to explain why you didn't leave him sooner. You are a victim of abuse, and there are many reasons why victims don't leave their abusers until it's almost too late. Things aren't laid out in a pretty little row for you to analyze and come to the conclusion that you need to leave. It's not your fault.